Morning, Saturday morning coming down. It's Sunday morning coming down as Johnny Cash coming out. Hope you survived the storm. It was a very nasty night. We're still getting some rain. Very rough. But you made it to the weekend. I like it. Podbean acting up this morning, not be with us. Not sure what's going on there. But it's good to be here. Looking forward to a good day. And the music goes down. Good morning, Miss Jen. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of rain already, and I'm telling you, it rocked all evening last night. I'm sure it did for you as well. It was it's a miracle. I want to so very thankful. We had all of this. Good morning, Jake. We had all this podcasting to do, and we held pretty strong. It was a blessing because I was a little concerned about it. I mean, before we ever went live on the air with the sports show, we were. I was monitoring. I have one stream that kind of gives me a readout of where we're at in strength and everything, kind of on the fly, like it's live. It's live action. It's letting me know. And right in the heart of the storm, we got our signal got a little poor, but it jumped right back. So it was just, what do you do? I mean, there's nothing you can do in those kinds of things. Hopefully everything's okay. Like I said, it was a good night. Had a good programming, I believe. Had a good time with it. Went till pretty late and went to bed, worked some things in the middle of the night, as I always do. Looking forward to a good morning. At 11 a.m. This morning, I will be online, but not on our stream. I'll be with the Angry Conservative on his interview series, his Rumble channel. So if you have, I'm pretty sure that's going to be Rumble Premium. If you don't have that, you won't be able to watch, but we'll see if we can. He may release that later to a regular thing. He's driving his, obviously, followers and people buying premium under him. It's not expensive, and we have it too, and we can watch anything we want, and it cuts the ads out is what it does. It cuts the ads out of the things, main thing. And, it helps Rumble. It helps the creators and all that. So just so you know, not that you'll be watching, but if you just so desire, that's the deal. But we appreciate him being on or having us on. And one of these days we'll get him on the channel. He stays so busy, though. I mean, we're busy. This guy busy. And our website, we didn't mention it last night. We got so caught up in everything else. And there'll be more to add to it, but our website's ready. It's out there. And it's southernfriedcornbreadnation.com, southernfriedcornbreadnation.com. And you will see okay. Thank you for the comment. If that's your wisdom of the day, cool. Jumping out early on a Saturday to spread hate and discontentment. That's fine. Yeah, but I choose not to. So I choose not to because you know why? I don't have to. Don't bother me, brother or sister or whatever you are. But anyway, it cracks me up. Keyboard warriors running around looking for people to attack. Oh, you gotta love it. Gotta love it. Coming from the stream that hates on everybody, especially conservatives. I just think that's hilarious. I don't forget what was that. It's okay. Hey, Herschel Walker is going to be the ambassador to the Bahamas. He ran for state senate, didn't get that in Georgia. And, a lot of people don't like him. But I think he'll do a good job. It'd be a good move for him and keeps him active in politics and gets him out there involved in something like that. And those are nice positions, to be that. As a Christian, I'm an ambassador for Christ. It's the highest honor, really. Some of these people look at these ambassadorships and they're like, it's just a cushy little thing to go over and say. It's an important role. It really is, the ambassadors do that. And on the Christian level, and being an ambassador for Christ is of the highest level. It means we take the gospel and we share it with the world. And we are an emissary for the King and the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. I love that. So that's not on that level, but it is important because you're representing the United States of America or whichever country you may choose to be a part of. To do that, you're representing the leader and you are sharing their vision or whatever. And, it's a nice position to have. It serves its purpose within the role. And I like that. So I think it's a good role for him because he's always, reaching across the aisle. He's a guy that, always has a smile on his face and he's trying to, he's well liked. I mean, some people hate him. There's always somebody that hates somebody. You can't choose, you can't make everybody like you. There's a lot of haters, but most people in Georgia would like him. And even beyond football, they just like the guy. And I'm going to tell you, for his age, he's probably is in shape, better shape than a lot of people 20. That guy has a massive workout routine. He still does thousands of sit-ups and push-ups every day. Amazing guy. And boy, I'm going to tell you, he's legendary status in the state of Georgia, as you well know. National champion, Heisman Trophy winner. Probably could have won it the next year. They chose not to. His numbers were definitely excellent. Didn't get the second title. Came very close. Didn't get there. Of course, chose the USFL and then eventually went to the NFL. Didn't quite have the NFL career he would like to have had, but his overall body of work is great. And he has been involved in the presidential fitness program and other things. And so, he along the way, he has talked about his struggles with mental health and back before it was not even popular to do so. And I applaud him for doing that. And some people, pick at him. I would never do that, no matter who they were. They're, trying to figure things out. And, he just had some trouble. And I don't know if he still does. But anyway, that was in the news this morning. He's been tapped by the president to do that. And I think they get along pretty well. And, the president's not dumb. He knows that is a good move in the state of Georgia. More pro for that than they will be against that. Good move. And I think he would do great in that. I mean, he gets to go to the Bahamas. I mean, that's pretty cool. But it sets him up for maybe some things later. That was one of the big problems. He didn't have any body of work in politics. And sometimes that can be a detriment, and you have to build your resume a little bit. This is a starting point. And he could roll this into something else, and then come back later and then make that run. And I'd say he would do pretty good. He did strong anyway. Had a lot of people behind him, had a lot of interest behind him, and he came very close, just came up a little short. And not a bad run at all. I mean, he didn't get trounced. And for the first time out, that's pretty strong. Good job, Herschel. Keep running. Oh, you always have, and you always will. Salute out to you this morning, buddy. And congratulations on that. An inspiration to a lot of young men, especially those that were wanting to play football. He's especially running backs. I mean, they saw what he did, and they wanted to emulate that back in the day. Him and Bo Jackson. There was no greater time, I don't think, in the history of football ever, where you had two running at the same time that were as great as they were. There's no ranking them. The only way you rank them is if you like Georgia or Auburn better. But honestly, you cannot rank them 1-2. They're 1-1. They just amazing talent. Of course, Bo with NFL and baseball, Major League Baseball. Unfortunately, Bo got hurt in the hip. He still was able to play baseball, but not run it like he used to. He still had the power and his swing and everything. It impacted him a little bit because you drive from your hips. And so it affected him in that way. So in that way, the same thing. He didn't get to really have the body of work that you would have liked to have seen him have in the NFL. That one tackle. I was watching the game live. I remember seeing it, and I thought that don't look good. And but one from Alabama and one from the state of Georgia. Shout out to those guys, making it happen, making us look good down here in the South. People loving them the world over. Bo knows, right? Remember the slogans? Absolutely. Just infectious smiles, personality. Love those guys and wish them well in their life and their endeavors. And I hope that and I hope that others will emulate them in the way that they have, really stood tall. I bet Bo does know cornbread, Brosky Bear. He likes to eat. Now, he's no country boy. Like, he likes to hunt and fish, and he's he's country. He's not city boy. Well, neither one of them were. That's different. It don't matter where you come from or what your background is. If you're country, you're country. If you're city, you're city. It's just a difference. Not mean good or bad. It's just that there's a different mentality. Some of these young men that were city, they get off at a college, and sometimes guys introduce them to the hunting and fishing, and being out in the rural areas and kind of finding out what that's about. Some of them don't care for it. Some of them love it. They've never been introduced to it. They've always been inner city, and they love it. They get out there and they fall in love with fishing. Next thing you know, they're moving out into the country. That's just something they never had presented to them in their life, and they're loving it. Now, I've known others, people that would say, I ain't going out 2 miles outside of town. I feel like they feel like they see a small wood patch and they're in the deep wood. That's not true, but it is a difference. It's like any of us where we live. It paints a picture in our minds about what life is like, and sometimes you see how the other side lives, and it kind of changes your perception a little bit. For us in the country, we couldn't imagine living in a place where there's no wide open spaces, that you're maybe not even have a yard to play in. You're in an apartment building and you're on floor 58, and you go to a park and that's where you find your recreation. And in many places in the country, you just step out your door and you're at your playground. Not so much in some places, but then some people like the slowness of okay, bud. Hey, he usually doesn't come into this program, but I hope that he is able to make it to the wrestling. I know he had talked about it with you, and I know that's something that we don't have because I work on Saturday nights, and it was a night that we just really presented. We did documentaries and interviews and stuff we've released on Saturday. We still want to have a music thing, but that is a perfect spot for the wrestling. And since it's right there, I think he would probably try to make that and at least get a little bit of the flavor of that. That's something I know he's really behind. I'll mention it to him here after a while once he gets up and about and around, and I'll see if he because I know he had interest in doing it, and he's right down the road from it. I mean, it's not far. I've been there, so I know now. But I like your name, by the way, too. Florida's Most Idiotic Preteens. That's pretty cool. So do you wrestle? Because I don't know your background. Do you wrestle in it, or are you just connected to it, or supports those who do, or what? So, but I will mention it to him. Thanks for the reminder, because I know that he had interest in doing that. Yeah, that's cool. We like having a little variety to all of our programming, whether it's we do everything from politics to puppets. I mean, it's that's probably become a tagline. Good morning, Jake. Hope you're well, brother. We're picking up rain here again. It's picked up in the last minute, but no storm yet, no lightning, no thunder. So we just have to keep pressing on. And hopefully we won't have power knocked out. I didn't know that it hailed actually until James got here and let me know that it had done that. So it was a rough night in a lot of areas. Keep Robert Dogtag Diamond in your prayers. He was inside last night. If he steps off today, he's going to get wet. Well, wet's okay, but the storms is another. Okay, got you. Okay, good. I just trying to get my mind where you're at. I didn't get to go the last time. Awesome. Yeah, help Rob along. He's not used to doing the on remote, so we got to get him set up a little closer, or being able to zoom in. The sound was great, the visual was great, just a little far away. Hopefully he can get up there where he can see a little more of the action and talk to people and stuff like that. The Florida name is just something me and my cousin haven't bothered to take. Well, you know what? It stands out. And you want something that gets attention. I mean, that's the whole thing of it, you know. When you have something like that, you want that. Spartan says, I am not the city or the country farm. I am the ocean. The deep water is my true home. Oh, the old seafaring people, yes. Let us not forget about them, those that ride upon the sea. Port to port. Only stopping long enough to then get back on the next ship out and stay on the wide open seas. You know, I will say this, I have found home is where you are. I mean, you can make home anywhere. If God sent me to some big New York, we'll say, I would be home. And if that's where God wanted me, even though I love, you know, where I'm at, I would make it home. I would make it and be, you know, have joy and be content with where I was at. And so, you know, home is where you have people that love you and you just adjust. In doing ministry, there's times that we were, you know, in big cities, very congested, trying to get to place. I never complained about it because I knew that that's where I was supposed to be. And, you know, I've never been way out. Like I've not been out, you know, where I'm 30 miles from a store or something like that. I don't know that I would ever want to be that far out. Some people like that. They want to be as far away from people as they can, way out for nothing, you know. That's a little far out for me. I like a little bit, just close enough that I can step out and see the open spaces, but I don't have to be deep in the wood. So, well, Jake, you know, we're trying to get that. We're trying to get that going, brother. I mean, it's something where we're. But your guy to work with that is Rob. I am supportive of it. I'll take part in it. His background is the wrestling. I do have a background of having watched it some, but it's not in my wheelhouse. And so sometimes we do different things individual. Some things we do together. That would be more Rob. So your partner would be Rob in that, and I'll talk to him about it and see what y'all can work out. Because honestly, when it airs, I will be working, and for the foreseeable future, I'm hoping to one day have that time slot freed up, and we'll use it for some. I want to actually air some music, original music. People, the singer songwriter. That's why we have the background for the Southern Fried Soundstage. We're going to get that going. It'll be enhanced as my schedule gets where I can do that. But if you're going to want to be in the wrestling, brother man, better talk to Mr. John Copperhead Remington, as he aka Robert Blevins, and see what you can work out with him. So that's cool. I know you have an interest there too, like passions. You know, kind of work together on that. It's like Rob's not really a racing fan. So, no, I'm not going to. No. Uncle Jeff put one on his latest video, though. He did put on the wig. I'm into the racing. I'm in the sports show. I'm into politics. I'm into. She's been sick this weekend a little bit. Jake, thanks for asking. Stomach trouble, a virus or something. So she's kind of just resting in. It's a good rainy day to just kind of lay about and get better. She missed school Friday, but she'll be okay. She rebounds real well. I do like the puppets. That's become a big thing for me. Injury is fine. We'll go back in a couple of weeks and get the cast off, get a re-X-ray, and hopefully she'll be clear. She's already got the smaller cast on, so she plays hard. She plays hard. And I'm here for it. I don't want her to get hurt. But you know what? These people trying to put their kids in a bubble, let them live life. You know what? Just because she's had some injuries before, don't mean I'm going to limit her that she can't do what she needs to do. Yeah, right as was coming off the air, she got hurt skating. Everything where she's gotten hurt has been activity, riding bikes, hoverboards, skating, skates. You know what? She's living her life, having fun in her childhood as she's supposed to. And I fractured my wrist when I was in the same grade that she's in. I got hurt playing sports and fractured the same wrist area that she has hurt twice. That's where my injury was, and also hurt the hand on that being active out and got cut on a rock really bad. Had to have multiple stitches. So maybe me and her are just kind of linked up somehow in this cosmic thing. I don't know what it is, but she did bust her chin like a lot of kids will do. I never did that. That was the first injury. Busted chin. Had to have stitches put there. But yeah, I told her, I said, when you get older, you're gonna remember all this. As the weather changes, the rain comes, all those aches and pains that you're gonna have a lot of that. We know how it is. Yes, go to Patriot Mobile and use that promo code Cornbread. I am so excited. I'm charging the phone up as we speak. This is the business phone right here. I had it sitting up here waiting to get it switched over to Patriot Mobile. And I am a customer. And not only a promoter of, but a customer of Patriot Mobile. And I used that promo code Cornbread. Absolutely. Oh, man. 2013, I was running outside to get something for my dad and actually ran over a bucket and messed up my face. Well, I mean, yeah, that was her. That's why she busted her chin, had gotten out of the shower or bathtub back in those days playing with her toys. She was at her mom's and ran and tripped over the towel or something. Next thing I know, I'm getting phone calls that she is hurt bad. And we had to run to the hospital. And that was a tough day. You know, it's tough. Because you know what? It took about 6 of us to hold her still while they stitched that chin up. They tried all the games in the world, all the puppets, get her attention. She said she wasn't having none of it. So plan B. Okay, mom. Okay, papa. Okay, nurse. Okay, other nurse, doctor, whoever else. You're going to have to lay across her arms and legs. I think my job was to hold her head still. Sorry, baby. This won't hurt for long, but we got to do it. Bam. She was so mad. She screamed bloody murder. I forget how old she was. I hate doing that. It had to be done. She remembers it all. She said, I know it was hard on y'all, but I was scared. And I said, I know. It is scary to be hurt. Anybody tells you it's not, come on. The biggest, baddest dude on the bus can get scared when he sees a needle coming. Oh, everybody goes into surgery. They can talk tough. Right before they are going out, they're checking up, making sure they're okay, telling people they love them. In case I don't make it, there's a concern. You know, that's another thing just in America, is 2 things that I try not to think about, but they definitely come into play. One of them is how many people do die on the operating table every day in America. The plan, just go in and do a procedure. They don't wake up. They have a heart attack, stroke out, something on the table. Something goes haywire. Number 2 is the botched surgeries every day in America. Meaning, I was supposed to take this organ out, this kidney out. I took the healthy kidney out. That happens, folks. So I always pay attention because, you know, people have a bad day. That's why they have all those scans they do, scanning their chart, scanning the medicine you're getting, scan everything, because there's so much mix-up. That's another one. They give you the wrong medication. When I was in the hospital one time, and I was 6, I was a little older than that. I was probably oh, I'm going to say 10 or 11. And I got really sick bad. And they thought that I might have appendicitis. And so they gave me some stuff. They were doing tests and all that. And so I was on a very strict diet for a couple of days. Jello, joy. There was a guy in the same room with me. Nobody can afford the private rooms, usually. He was released that day. The food service shows up with the food, and they come in the room and they say, "Huh." They got confused. They didn't know which one, so they brought me the full meal, which I know it's still hospital. It wasn't great, but to me, that was like an oasis in the desert. I was like, wow, I had meat, I had green beans, I just devoured it. I didn't know what was going on. I thought it was mine. I eat, I'm kicked back. I think she left both trays actually, so I ate the Jello. I'm feeling satisfied. Styling and profiling. Well, all of a sudden, they come in. Somebody come in there to get the nurse come in there and realized there was a mix-up. And she says, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm fine." She said, "I got to get the doctor." They run out, and a whole team of people come running in there. And the doctor said, "Did you eat that food that was brought in here?" And I'm looking at him like, did I do something wrong? Like, am I in trouble? I must have had that look. He said, "You're not in trouble. We just got to know, did you eat that food?" I said, "Yes, sir, I did." "Yes, sir, I did." His face, he just ashen. He said, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm fine." He said, "It was a mix-up. You weren't supposed to get that food. We were, thinking we might have to go into surgery. You were just eating, water, liquid, and a little Jello." And they went outside. They chewed out the worker. But I told him, I said, "I'm fine. Don't get, I don't want anybody in trouble." But they let her have it because I could have died, anyway. That happens in America. That happens. I forget around the world. I mean, you got Dr. Deaths all over the world doing crazy stuff, but in America, it's supposed to be the highest of the highest. It does happen. Roski Bear, things in America I try not to think about are that girls can have a surrogate, have their baby, or just adopt in general. Well, you could be like old Pete, too, strapping on the old fake stuff and feeding your baby. What a world we live in. I try not to think about a lot of stuff, brother. It really does it's depressing about a lot of things that you see. And I just try not to dwell on it. It's kind of like Joe Biden. I really try not to dwell on Joe Biden too much because it's a never-ending frustration. So he's kind of out of the line of sight right now. That's the best place for him. He's tried to come out and rant a couple of times. It's not working. He's just going to drift off into history. He'll never be a voice ever again. I'll try not to think about him too much. The coffee is good this morning. We will be getting our own coffee. Good morning, Brother Barrett. Good morning, brother. It's going to be a beautiful day. I'm getting out of here, going to try to do some work with my tractor. Maybe push back all the property. I'll have a blessed day. Well, we're getting storms up here, brother. I'm glad you're able to get out and work. Enjoy that tractor. Enjoy the beauty of God's earth. Sing a good hymn while you're out there pushing back all that stuff on all the property. And you have a blessed day too, my friend. You are a blessing. Down there at Cornish Mountain, that ain't a mountain. But what is there is Cornish Mountain Baptist Church. That's Pastor Jerry Barrett preaching the word. Absolutely. Getting the news out there, the good news, the blessed hope, letting people know about how they can have eternal life with Christ Jesus. Amen, brother. Absolutely. Pray for a friend of mine. My song leader / Sunday school teacher is in the hospital getting a stomach issue checked out. I'm waiting to hear the results of his test. I don't think he'll be released till the first of the week. And a little later, if they have to do anything beyond that, I just hope everything's okay. He's been having some problems. He's not sure what it is. Remember my friend Stan in your prayers. He would appreciate that. Don't forget in the morning, Miss Regina with the dialogue box will be on the Sunday morning in the Word. We're going to talk about finding your faith, and really want to let her carry a lot of the conversation, just talking about her journey. We'll have interaction though, and talking about how people struggle sometimes to find their faith. So, looking forward to that. Been wanting to have her on for a long time, and I'm glad it's finally happening. As she streams in from Ireland, it'll be about 12:30 there when we start. Maybe about 7:30 here when we start here. So, from Ireland, I'd love to visit one day, Ireland and Scotland. I certainly have descendants from Ireland. I'm not sure about the Scottish, but I do have English. I would like to think I have some Scottish because I love the Scottish culture and thing. What a beautiful area. What a beautiful area. Amen, brother. We're praying for you too. Amen. Well, we know one thing. You've got a heart, so they can't be looking for that. Oh, going up about 3, Tarman? No, not 3. Not 3. I'll be watching for violators at 3. Hope you're well, Tarman. You getting rain over there? You're not that far from me. We getting the rain again. No storms yet. Thank you for the likes on this program. God bless you all. Oh, that's 11, brother. That's 11. 11 a.m. I'm going to go up to about 10:30 on here with either this show or plenty of rain. 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. For him to be 10 a.m. He's an hour behind. From Alabama, behind me there. Angry Conservative interview series. I have no idea what we're going to talk about because it's an interview. He'll ask me stuff, and we'll have chat questions, and I'm sure they'll probably talk about how we got into this crazy thing of podcasting, some views about it, and some live stuff. We'll see. I have no idea. That's the fun part. Free form, baby. I have no pre-questions. Just let her rip, tater chip. I like it. Just two guys sitting around having a good conversation about life. So it would be great. Yeah, I'll send that to you, Taurus. Love to have you come and sit in sometime. Absolutely. You're in Yankee land. I'll be sure to send you that address. Definitely. Don't let me forget, but I'll do that. Yeah, I mean, we had one show up here earlier trying to be a jerk. And I don't usually kick out, but I decided just go. I don't need it. You're welcome, brother. They're miserable little people. And they want to make other people's lives miserable. And it's so funny. They come in and they think that I'm going to get mad. Now, Rob sometimes gets mad. And I tell him, I'm like, just let it roll, man. Just deal with it. But some people can't handle that kind of thing. I get it. Yeah, they do that. I've had them do it here. And so you just kind of keep rolling them. I think if you don't make too much of a situation about it, they tend to go on. They're getting their kicks off of seeing you react. I just sort of like, hey, have fun with that, and then see you. You know, sometimes I totally ignore them, never even mention them. That's what they're looking for. Um, there's just people like that in the world. They're just looking to be that kind of person. But you know what? Who knows? They might get saved. Hey, I've had crazy things happen. Let them come on in. They might hear something about Christ that changes their life. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to let them disrupt the channel. I'll boot them. Don't like having to do that, but I ain't got time for it. Don't have time for all that. Yeah. Well, and you can't have that. So that's why you gotta keep people like that out, because if you don't, then they just tend to run people off like that. People don't want to, or your chat turns into World War III. Eventually, we've had before, but eventually, hopefully, we'll have a little more mod activity besides us as we get bigger. We definitely will need some help with that. We have a little bit of help with that already, but yeah, it's just people being people. You know, people like we was talking about last night. People that show up and scream and holler and rip their clothes off at some sort of a function and try to get everybody to look at them. All one has to do is really watch a lot of these social media streams and watch people and how they do. And it's really a great exercise and kind of understanding the American, or not American, the human psyche. I watched some videos and I'm thinking, what you got up today and every day to do that in front of God knows how many people in the world? Really? That was what your plan was, is to get up, be about half dressed, talking about ridiculous things. That was your plan? But there's people out there that watch that. I just keep flipping. It's like, where'd that come from? There's, I'll say this too. It really shows you just how much mental issues are out there, because some of them scary, really scary, and you're like, where in the world did this come from? It's like, whoa, what's that? Wow. Some of them are a little funny. Now, the guy, I don't know if you've seen the guy. I don't normally promote stuff. This guy's going to get hurt. He's got people that follow him. I'd hate to be his neighbor. I'd be honest. I'd be worried that my dogs and cats would come up missing, and he might go on a nut ops, and I might not be alive the next day. But it's the guy who, he says some bad language and he talks stuff. He rips his shirt off and he jumps on top of stuff, off of tables and stuff, or runs into stuff, and he hurts himself bad. And then he's whining and crying like a baby. I mean, he goes from talking, like, I'll kick your blankly blank blank, to then he's just whimpering and crying on the ground. It's first time I saw that dude, because I was like, oh, what's he fixing to do? He jumped off, or he ran into a refrigerator, and it knocked him down, and that hurt. But then he jumps up on top of the refrigerator, and he jumps on a table that has barbed wire or something on top of it, and then he's just crying. I'm like, okay, how'd that work out for you? I get it. And some of the bigger ones, it is a constant battle. Some that they have a lot of people that are chatting, maybe hundreds. It can be rough. Well, sure. Hey, I want to tell you, there's a podcaster on Podbean. It's really the reason I actually went to Podbean, which we're not live. Podbean was not wanting to pull up this morning. I love the platform. It's a great audio site for us. And we can upload our videos there too, or audios there too. They ran a live one night. They were having a church. It was two podcasters together, and they were talking about the Lord, and this guy got mad, and they had their settings set. They had kicked these guys out, and they somehow found a way to hack it and come back in. And it was people coming in that were Islamic, and they were chanting Islamic prayers and mocking Jesus, and supposedly as an Islamic person would not mock Jesus, but they were. But anyway, so they were laughing about it, and it disrupted their stream pretty bad. But actually, the girls that were there were like, you know what? It's a badge of honor that we're being attacked like that. And they took the track. We'll just pray for them. The dude, he was ex-military. He was mad. He was incensed. And the next day, he had done some stuff. He worked through the night to find out how they hacked through, and felt like he had corrected the issue. But he basically said, y'all pray for me, because what I thought about those guys was 6 feet under. He was so mad. But I heard it live. They come in, they were chanting Islamic prayers and mocking Jesus and Christians. And so you do get that. I mean, there are people out there that do that. I always tell this story, and I brought it up one night. Rob, I think you remembered it. Before I had a computer, Rob had a computer, and I went over to see him, and he was showing me about his computer. And he goes into this website where, I don't know, people are talking, chatting, whatever. And the whole premise of the chat room was stupid to me. Just totally stupid. And it was an attack room where you basically send viruses and stuff to each other and try to attack each other. So he said, mostly they just playing. It makes stuff like blow up on the screen. It'll have messages and all this. So he says, I'll show you. So he sends this guy one. It turns the guy's screen, or somehow it turns it green. And the guy's cussing him, he's like, ha, that's funny. Well, then this guy loaded up and sent like a double attack towards him, shut Robert's computer completely down, like damaging down. I think he rebooted, and his virus software saved his computer. Definitely, he wasn't laughing. I was like, dude, I think you just got punked out. Playtime was over. He goes, I'll get him back. I'm like, why? Just don't do it, man. Stay out of that. Different mentality. I don't care to be nothing like that. That's why some podcasts don't have any chat. They just do shows. Or they'll load their show up. It's not live, it's recorded. And they just put it out there. The way they don't have to deal with it. Even people that post their videos up have comments turned off. They don't want something sitting out there. I generally try to stay on top of whatever's being posted and stay on top of it. Very rarely have to make a delete. Usually here lately, it's been pretty good. I've been able to have people kind of, I thought they were being attacking. They were just really, they didn't agree with me, and we ended up having a nice discussion. So I get it. But you just got to keep working it, and if you let them know they got to you, they win. And I'm just not going to do that. I think the people in the chat are quick enough to realize if you totally ignore a person, usually they get really tired of it and move on. We will take care of it as soon as we can. If somebody shows up and they're doing that, just let it go. They will find another playpen to go play in where somebody will cuss them and they'll get the big argument going. Most things we can take care of pretty quick, but the way we set these streams up, the way they come in, there are some people that we might have to work to block. And if we couldn't, we could always drop that particular one. We'd hate to have to do that, but if we had to, we could. So that's what made Robert mad, was he was not able to see he was not able to block the person because he didn't have access to that. So we'll get it fixed. Michael says, I'd like to see a few thousand Georgians be connected up with y'all to show Southern strength. Well, we're getting there, brother. We are growing, and we will have more and more people come online. We're fixing to have cover some stuff on Georgia politics. In fact, probably will develop just a Georgia politics show, um, short, maybe 30 minutes or something, just to get the messaging out there. What's going on with Georgia elections, politics, and stuff like that. There's a lot going on in voter GA, and I need to get back with Miss Christina and get her to come up. She's willing to do that, and me and her could actually have this show, uh, and we could talk about some of those issues. I need to move on that this week. I certainly do, because next week is there's a couple things coming up. So look, and normally I'm right on top of it. We've just been so busy in so many different areas, but that's going to happen. So this will be a place that Georgians can connect up, but others as well, because we always saw ourselves as universal. But we are Georgia based, and we do want to cover those things. So yeah, absolutely. The rain is still falling as we sit here by the banks of the Southern Fried River, and we are excited. Don't forget our website uh, will be it is southernfriedcornbreadnation.com. We'll be adding to that an embeddable player, links about Patriot Mobile, a blog, all that will be added. So, and we got a couple other streams that we've got a link in there as well. So, the disabled teen, refresh my mind. I don't know what do you mean by that? How's the disabled teen going? It went over my head, man. I'm sorry. I must be tired. The disabled teen. Let's pray for Rob. He wasn't feeling well last night near the end of the show. He probably slept in a little bit. Hopefully he has a good morning, good afternoon, and I hope he is able to do the wrestling. That would be cool. We'll mention it to him after a while. That would be great. If he can get a better sight line and get involved. Oh, yeah, I was just telling Jake, she had Rumble Studio trying to give me a fit. Let's get her back up. She has been sick this weekend with a stomach bug. Not sure what caused that. So she's still down. She's just laying up in her bed with her dog, drinking fluids, but her stomach's bothered her. So y'all pray for her. I miss her. One of my other granddaughters has agreed to become a voice for one of the puppets that we're going to get. We're deciding now what that will be, and kind of we're going to give it a go. We won't invest real heavily until we see where that's going to be. But she is almost 15, and she wants to do it. So I'm curious to see what we can develop off of that. So I've always seen it moving that way. Get these girls involved with doing some puppet ministry, and then having some fun with it too. So we will see. We'll have to get a girl and let her be a girl, and if she is a girl, we'll have fun discussions. But she didn't want to be on camera, but she can deal with the puppet. She's good with it. So it's another way to get out there. Absolutely. I looked last night, and I don't know. Well, this is just Southern talking. I'll talk whatever. It could be a state issue, could be sports, could be whatever. I think the Braves lost last night. It kind of bugged me. 2-1. They played them tough. They really needed that win. My wife. You ever text somebody, but you texted the wrong person? My wife did that to me. But talking about something I wanted to somebody else. Well, that's the goal, Carman, is to have something like that in the future. Absolutely. So, we'll see about that as we could sort of develop it. Way back when, I actually had scripts. I don't know if I still have them, of some really successful puppet ministries. I knew a lady who did it, was very good at it. She was excellent. And I learned a lot from her. And she actually had she actually held a class in puppet ministry, and along with that, you could get this copy of scripts that they used that were, really good. It was well done, and enough that you could put on about a 20-minute puppet show, which is about that's a lot of writing. That's a lot of going on. 20 minutes, but you don't think about it. 20 minutes is a lot. Trust me, and I know from my own experience. It is. It's a lot. There's a lot goes into that. There's a lot that goes into 20 minutes. And you can sit and just be talking and stuff, but when you start working with puppets, 5 minutes is a long time. It's a lot of dialogue that happens in 5 minutes. A lot of action. It is extremely draining physically and mentally. You have to really think, and so to get in front of a bunch of kids and do 20 minutes, that's a lifetime. That's about their limits, the limit of what they're going to pay attention anyway. So, but you could do a really powerful ministry within that 15 to 20 minutes, and then start getting more information and stuff. But that's a lot. And now if you add in music and stuff, it kind of helps stretch it a little bit. There's a lady from actually down not far from where you live, Michael, and her ministry was chalk art, but they used puppets with music to draw the kids in. And a friend of mine that used to work at the plant, his son actually has traveled the world with them, working one of the puppets. Now they get down; these are big puppets. They get down inside of a container, and they rise up, and they're working those with sticks. But it's mainly dancing and singing. But they're just moving their mouth, and they use music to draw. They go all over the world. And a very effective ministry. I had them come to our church one time, and it was great. So yeah, we're just moving that way ever so slowly, as often as we can. See what we can do with that. So, that's something I definitely want to dive into. But just getting our feet wet, getting grounded, and seeing what we can do. I was looking. And that was a rain delay, and apparently this site don't have it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, they lost because it already had the time in 2-1. Braves now 3 games back, or 2.5, 3, whatever it is. They just can't seem to get back. They've been playing better, but they can't seem to get there. Had a great time with our sports show. Me and James really kicked it off. It went well. I look forward to each week. That coming back next week will be on Thursday, 6 p.m. And we'll keep for right now, we'll keep the racing at 6 on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. And we'll do both. So yeah, don't forget Monday through Friday, nightly, 10-ish. Could be 10 or slightly after. The MAGA Report. That's a nightly news show, 1 hour on the dot. And it's just going to hit the major news cycle stuff of the day that affects the administration, MAGA, all those things. And that's going to be fun. And we're setting ourselves up for some other information that we hope to have soon. We're waiting on some information to come our way. And if it works out, this will play into that. And it's in anticipation of that. And it's just a way that we're going to be growing as a podcast in very powerful ways. So we are really excited. We have finally, we are in the Rumble Creator Program, and it's really taken us places. That's going to help the whole thing grow, and not the others as well. But Rumble is a big key, in Patriot Mobile and stuff. So thank y'all for supporting those things. It really is going to get us where we need to be, and it's just a baby steps. It's already May 3rd. Got to get my samples in. I'm gonna order those today and try to get the coffee set up. My goal is June 1st. I'm going to order the coffee today, 2 different companies to get samples in. One of these 2 is going to be the company, and we can set everything up in a day, basically. I'll probably take a day off work or something just to get all that set up. We hope to be shipping by June 1st, the coffee. That's my goal. So as long as I can get the samples in, it ain't going to take me but a few samples to know where we're at. We'll send some to Rob, and then if it passes the SFP muster, then we'll know it'll be good for the world, and we'll get moving. I'm excited about it. Love it. I did get some more 55coffee.com. Shout out to those folks on the Rumble side from the great state of Michigan, and it's great coffee. I had James smell it last night. He's like, wow. And I really wish we could work with them, but they don't have that sort of platform. But I still love their coffee. So that's what I'm actually drinking this morning in the studio is 55coffee.com. If you go there on their website, use the promo code Carl15. That's Killer Carl's promo code. It'll help him. And I ordered some last Saturday night live in the channel, and it arrived yesterday. To give you a timeline on that, didn't take long at all. In fact, the owner came into the chat and said, "I seen your order," and they had that out by Monday. Absolutely. So it got to me really quick. But yes, Michael, we will have the K-Cups as well as the ground coffee. Looking at 4 major blends right now. And then hopefully a couple of specialties. We'll start with 4. We've got the names pretty well picked out. We got 1 or 2. We got to vote on it. But I think they're pretty good. We've even got slogans to go with them. Be looking for that. That's going to be coming pretty quick. My son pops in. He worked last night. Work go well? He said yes. So we may be back on. I don't know. I've got the interview coming up. I am going to get off of here. Just want to come on and say hi. Be safe in the storms today. Well, we will be on the interview on the Rumble channel, Angry Conservative, premium content for a good hour, I'd say, give or take some. And we'll let you know how it goes. Hopefully you can watch. This is David the AM, a Southern Fried Podcast here for Southern Talk. And we will see you soon. So we'll go off with some music. And we might pop back in for a short show. We'll see. Just a few minutes and get my son to help me with something. And I really intended on being on about an hour, and that's about right smack dab on top of where we're at right now. Have a great day. If I don't talk to you, certainly tune in the morning, listening to Miss Regina. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully we'll be back on, though. A lot of great programmers today on the Rumble side. Go out there and find them. Watch their stuff. The Celtic Blacksmith actually got in live last night, a 2-hour. I'm going to try to watch that today myself. He made a couple things, and he said there was some humor, so go give him a Half Pine Forge, the Celtic Blacksmith on the Rumble side, and also X. And I went and just pulled it up last night for a quick minute to look at it. But yep, it's there. He came in the stream and said, yes, it was a good show. He's had a lot of problems. He got everything straightened out. He said it went off without a hitch. I can't wait to see that. I think he might have made a new product or something. Can't remember what he said. But we'll see you soon. Take care.